Ugh, what the heck?
Jim Distortion in the morning. Live from Graphic Nature Studios. Go to graphicnature.co.uk. This is Recharged Radio.
Good morning, this is Jim Distortion in the morning, live from Graphic Nature. It's all a bit panic-stricken because Jim and Sid got out of bed at 12 minutes past 9 this morning, but we still made it. We still pulled the stuff up. Jordan was here celebrating his calmness and making sure that everything's in the right place. Okay, we've got Primary Slave on the show this year. Hello? Today. We've got Primary Slave. Now, Primary Slave was a band back a few years ago, and a friend of mine, Mark, with Lee Dunham and some other people, got out there. They were signed to Visible Noise, which is the same label that Lost Prophets are on. And basically, Marcus sadly died. But after his death, his friends have clubbed together and made an album of his music that he was going to make. All right, Chris, people from Primary Slave are all here. Neil, how you doing? You all right? It's a bit early in the morning. He's looking a bit puffy. Lee's there and all. Look, they're all there. They'll be on the set. We'll talk about that. Seeing as Primary Slave, the guys who've taken on Mark's album are here talking. What we'll do is we'll play their track. Now, hold on. Neil, Chris, anyone. Is it powered or powdered? Powdered. It is powdered. I told him. We were having a debate about this. We were having a debate because obviously powered is like rock and roll, isn't it? But so is powdered. So which one is it? But we know now. Right, this is Primary Slave and powdered.
Coming if that was
Right. So I'm sat here in the studio, which is a bar in Graphic Nature, and I've got Neil, Lee, Chris, Dunham. They're three brothers, right? And weirdly, I've been in a band, three separate bands with the three separate brothers as well, so it's all a bit incestuous. Musical slags, Lee described himself as this morning. So good morning. Primary Slave was a band signed to Visible Noise, right? And you were in, weren't you?
I was in Primary Slave. Before that, it was called Lilith.
Lilith.
Which was, it was...
Cradle of Filth geezer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Cradle of Filth kicked out their guitar player,
right?
Who's obviously pretty connected.
Yeah.
He took loads of money with him and went, I'm going to start up another band. I only found this out recently the other day, but he enlisted Graham, which was Primary Slave's drummer.
Yeah.
And Primary Slave's drummer, he gave them, Paul, because back then we had tapes.
Tapes, you see?
Yes.
None of the CD business.
No digital stuff. It was
digital
old
what?
tapes.
No.
But it's funny, it's like you stick some sellotape over the tapes and you can re-record over them. It's fantastic when someone hooks the thing. Do you remember that? Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you stick the...
So he brought loads of tapes with him.
He brought loads of tapes with him, right? Except they obviously were so... Paul Allender was going to tape over a tape of Cenobite because he picked up a Cenobite tape somewhere and recorded the new Lilith stuff that he gave to Graham on this tape.
Right.
And so at the end of it, Paul had actually managed to get hold of this doom metal singer. It was like rah, 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 giving like that, and Graham sort of sat there and listened to the stuff and went, I like the stuff, but the singer's a bit crap.
Oh.
And right at the very end, when it finished, was Cenobite with Mark going, rah, 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 rah.
Right, so Cenobite was your band with Mark.
Yes.
Yeah, so Mark Giltrow, sadly he's no longer with us, obviously, that's what we're talking about. He died a little while ago in a motorcycle crash. Now, what he left behind was like a legacy of work that Primary Slave was going to release as their second album. Now, signed to Visible Noise, but it wasn't really backed up, was it? Because just at the same time, Lost Prophets kind of kicked off, didn't they?
The first album was pre-Lost Prophets, and then obviously they signed Lost Prophets just when we was recording the second album.
Right.
So we gave them the second album preview, if you like, and they'd already signed Lost Prophets, and Lost Prophets obviously went, ta-da, we're a boy band.
We're a Welsh boy band, lovely, they said. And they took him on, and then, look, we have to be careful, because Jordan's a bit Welsh. See what I mean? Quite a lot Welsh.
Yeah, I was what you're saying.
But he loves my Welsh accent. He loves it. Tom Jones. So, okay, so where are we at now? So we're in a position now where you've taken on this music. Now, what this is computer, this almighty computer that I keep hearing about, which basically at the time was cutting edge computer. Nowadays, of course, it's like the Ark.
Yeah,
so Neil, what you had to what was the deal? You found all this music on it, or
not so much found it? I mean, he recorded the body of the work in our basement in the house, and he spent many months in there in a cold, dark, dank.
I remember that basement quite well.
You know it well.
We used to rehearse down there, and basically rehearsals meant I used to watch Mark and Lee shout at each other.
That's right, yeah.
For about an hour and a half, and then we'd play for the half an hour at the end of it. So that was fine. I have to also say that Mark and Lee were best friends from birth almost, right? But that also meant that they had the whole brother mentality, even though he has two brothers of his own. That you must have the same thing. But Lee and Mark, yes, used to disagree about who played which guitar solo. Or indeed what song we would play.
Disagree about what sheep was in that
field.
Yeah. Disagree about absolutely everything.
Your trousers, I don't like them. Big fight. It's all quite funny because we were in Twisted Covers together, which was the only covers band I've ever been in, which is actually great fun. But Hotel California, I seem to remember, was the one thing that caused the most fights about who played the long solo and who did it right. And no, that's the wrong note. It was brilliant because all you'd hear was no, that's the wrong fucking solo. Whatever it is, I've done it again, swearing. Anyway, so you play the wrong note, then it would all kick off, and then we'd all calm down afterwards. Right, so this is setting the scene in a cold, dank cellar.
Yeah, the bottom of the basement in Rosevale. You remember it really well.
I do.
Everyone's been there.
Everyone's been
to that house.
Who's about my age and below, they've all been in your basement.
Everybody's been there. Yeah, so
there's 6,000 dirty, horrible musicians down the basement, all farting and burping,
laying a layer of slime each on the wall. Fantastic.
Imagine what that smells like.
Yeah, do you know what's really funny though? Right, the house has now been sold, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
Right, so somebody else has got that dirty cellar with all of our sweat.
Someone else goes down there and goes,
absolutely fantastic. Breathe in the sweat.
They've probably done it really nicely. It's probably all like,
yellow.
Do you know what
avant-garde,
or it's a kid's bedroom or something, and they go and they've dried out all the walls and painted it yellow, and they're going every so often they go, what is that smell?
Yeah, 6,000 rehearsals.
Yeah, can I swear? That smells like gin down here, you know. Right. Anyway, so a whole lot of songs on the computer.
Yep, almost finished recording.
Right.
Bang, motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
End of.
Okay. So how long ago was it?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. So how long did it take you to realise you wanted to put that back together? You wanted to release that?
Almost immediately, really.
Yeah.
It was a no-brainer. You know, just one of them things that you thought, right, the music's there, it's almost completed. We've got all the vocal takes, luckily, bar some odd tracks with that vibe.
I have to say that's the weird thing as well, isn't it? How often do you have a music where the vocal's done before the end's finished? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because every album I've recorded, I go in at the end on the last day kind of geezer who, you know, you've got a day to do this, that's it.
There is a few tracks, sadly, that couldn't make the album because there was no vocals on. We took in three or four tracks, which we've got that couldn't make the album. Yeah.
Okay, so
sadly.
well, yeah, but at least there was
good
enough.
songs, really good riffs and great songwriting, but he didn't lay down the vocal track.
The only thing about Mark's voice as well is that I've never heard, and I'm not just blowing smoke up his ass. You know, I've never heard a vocal like it.
No.
There isn't anyone else who could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, he could scream and then he could sing tunefully. He could do the lot. Yeah.
The trouble with all of you, Dunhams and Mark as well, is that you're all guitarists. You all play this. You all do that. You all sing.
Correct,
It's all.
yeah, right.
It's like a hub of music, and the reason you've been in so many bands, and you know, is because you know the talent involved in that. You know, if you can do these things and you strongly believe in music, your whole family's musical though. Your dad's still is he still jobbing bands?
That's it,
He's still around doing
still
that.
going.
Your mum's
Yeah,
an
still going.
opera singer. Is that no singer?
She can sing,
didn't she?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, you know, there's no mistake, you know, local talent hub, and sadly, you know, Mark's no longer with us. I'm sure if he was, you know, it would still be carrying on, you know, you can't give it up. He
Definitely,
ran Junction 25, or owned Junction
it's
25,
only right
which
round
is
the
literally
corner,
just
yeah.
around the corner.
It's just 2 Twickenham,
You know, it's a small thing, but, okay, so how do you go about setting out something like that up? Okay, were you there when he was recording it? Were you part
bits
of
and
it?
pieces, yeah, I was part of it. Yeah, I was a lot of a part of it. So it was easier for me to get a handle on how things sort of went. But the way that he recorded the album made it extremely difficult for me to be able to piece the whole thing together. Only because Mark could never settle on a particular take or a particular way that he was going to go. So how he recorded things was to record a whole body of a song and loads of different takes, and then obviously in his own mind he knew what he was going to use.
Right.
But for me, as an outside party coming in trying to sift through that lot,
There was no
trying
map.
to work out, there's no roadmap as to what you're going to use, or which was the vocal take, which was the strong guitar parts, how the song actually went.
Right.
So normally, say a standard recording process, drums are done, bass are done, guitars come in, as you say, vocals are done 2 seconds at the end. Sorry, Jim.
No, we're vocalists, don't matter. We all know that. Oh, well, we know that.
But you know,
2
It's
seconds.
usually,
That's it.
to be fair, it's usually because there's a lot more talent involved in the
that's
vocals
right.
than
Yeah.
there is with the guitar.
Normally,
So
because
you
everyone else used up all the time.
Yeah, well, yeah.
and you got 2 minutes at the end.
Oh, tell me about that.
I'll tell you what, it takes so long in setting that microphone up. When
It
you
does.
trying to
It's
plug
a
that
hard
lead in,
job.
it takes ages.
I can never find the right.
Exactly.
Where's it go? It's not television, Jim. I'm making stabbing motions with the mic. Never mind. Move on. Can I need to. This is a bit of a touchy thing, but how does it feel to be finishing something like that? To finishing somebody's. How does that make
I'll
you
tell
feel?
exactly how it feels. It feels like you never ever have made the right decision. Because every time you listen to a part, let's say the drum parts were taken, they're all completed, and now you're onto bass. Okay, Mark always used to record 2 bass lines. Okay,
Right.
so now you're listening to do 2 bass parts,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, is it the left one or is it the right one? I'll take, maybe this one's the best take, we'll go to the right one.
Yeah.
And then you start to listen to guitar parts, and you've got maybe in excess of 100 guitar parts to listen to. And you've got to listen to the entirety
Yeah.
before you can even try to take on board which ones of those are good enough takes to keep, or where you piece all of those in
That's
together.
mental, isn't it?
And
So-
as you sift through it and try and take out the bits you don't want, you start to think, maybe that was the bits I wanted. Maybe Mark's up there going, no, I wanted that bit. That took me hours.
I'm surprised he wasn't sit on Lee's shoulder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Metaphorically arguing with him.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, I can just
hear
imagine.
his voice. I can hear his
It's,
voice going, no, I wanted that.
Now it's done, and you guys are. I mean, where do you want it? Do you just want people to hear it? Yeah,
Yeah,
It's just-
absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
the
you're looking
first
for.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, arguably his best friend. How do you feel now it's done? Is it an achievement? Is it something you've got a fire in your belly? Where do you want it to go, Lee?
Well, I just want everyone to listen to it, like you say. You know, I mean, nowadays, a lot of music's free, and obviously we have a charge of trying to get it out there, and for the amount of effort that everyone's done, everyone's put money into it. So
Yeah.
you've got to try and kind of at least cover your costs.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
the reason why, if you wanted to go and buy it, primaryslave.com, you can buy it for £1.
Right, the whole album?
You can buy the whole album, download for £1.
Okay.
10 tracks on the album, all finished.
Okay, so primaryslave.com, go and listen to that. Go and read all about that. Is the story of it there? Has somebody written that? So who's done that?
Story stuff.
Journalists.
Videos, two videos as well. For
Chris done 2 videos as well, didn't you?
Okay, cool. So there's everything there that you need to know about this story. Okay, so obviously the people around Mark, there was like a, you know, people like Elms and others around. And what the hell is his name? Horace.
Horace.
Horace and all that. Has this been like a family effort with all that lot? If you see family being the group of friends around.
You've got
Mark's family was involved as well. They put some money in, and people have been involved. So we tried to involve everybody. So there's probably about 10 of us, I suppose, that did it. I mean, Neil done most of the getting together, so I couldn't even listen to the takes for a long time.
No,
do you know what I mean? Where Neil jumped on it straight away and took the computer in, and I remember him going through Mark's vocal tracks, and you just thinking, this guy's just dead.
He's dead. He's
and,
not here.
And
anymore.
I'm listening to his voice, and you think that's really weird.
No, I couldn't
do it.
I can understand.
Couldn't do that for a while.
It's hard to also to get to grips with the fact that he isn't here anymore, and this is his music. And I think one, obviously, I'm a musician, so obviously, I think this is probably the best celebration of somebody's life you can give them, because basically, you've got a body of work. Right, that would never have been heard. It had just been lost in the ether, and that had been the end of it.
It nearly was.
Yeah. So now, because of your efforts and all of that, we can celebrate that. You know what happened. We can also make sure that everyone can hear the legacy that went on. But also, I mean, it's refreshing and also, I don't know, comforting. Somehow, because this thing, there's a line drawn now, because that music isn't lost, it isn't wasted, and even the ones without vocals, I mean, even that, you know, there's way to that. They can be, you know, released, put on the end of it.
You're on the website, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's cool because there's everything there, and it gives you not closure. That's such a
It's just like the greatest epitaph you could ever give someone.
Well, that's
really,
it. You know, a gravestone's this big, right? And you can only write, whatever, died, nice one, married, whatever. But on a music shows you full remit of emotions of how he was feeling, about what was going on in his head, the songs that he's writing, and that's cool. You know, that's one thing that needs to be celebrated. I'll tell you what we're going to do now, because we've been talking for a while. We're going to play Defiled, which is the other song, and what I'll try and do is I've got a version of this where I've sung on it. As we were talking, and with my lyrics, because Mark said, I like those lyrics, they'll fit this. Right. And we recorded it in a, I can't remember where we...
Wasn't in the basement, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, we didn't. I've never recorded in the basement. I just went to watch arguments, like I said.
Yeah, you did. You did record in the basement.
What did we record?
We recorded I'm sure we did the Twisted covers. We did a little demo for Twisted
Oh, God,
covers.
did we?
Yeah, do you know what I used? I think I've even still got that tiny little 4-track about that big.
Oh, no.
That had a really dodgy power supply.
Oh, no, we did, yeah. Yeah, because that's
when
what
he was recording.
We got 3/4 of a song, right, but sadly what you get is singing, stop. Singing, because you missed out a chorus because the power lead had gone, no. I remember that. Yeah, okay, I did record in the basement. That's fantastic. Okay, anyway, so I'll try and find my copy of Defiled, which isn't called Defiled, it's called something else. But this is Primary Slave Defiled.
Music needs to be driven, not controlled. Recharged Radio.
History waits, history has to wait for a reprieve. Try to just now win, but
fade out. Right, so I am here with the Dunham brothers, which is Neil, Lee, and Chris. Basically, what we're talking about is an album by Primary Slave, but really what we're talking about is Mark Giltrow's work that was left on a computer after he was sadly killed in a motorcycle crash. Mark obviously was friends with all of us, but more importantly, was in a band with Lee for years and years and years, and then moved on to Primary Slave. Now, Primary Slave was signed to Visible Noise. Now, the other thing about being signed to a label is that often times and trends move on, so record labels don't get as interested about the second thing, or something changes. So that's what happened with Visible Noise, isn't it? Visible Noise then didn't take it on, didn't move on. So we've got a body of work left behind by a friend of yours and mine, and now you've managed, Neil's placed it, taken it all off the computer. Now, you say his family's involved and done all that. Now, what were the costs involved in doing this? Well, not monetarily, but what did you have to do?
Basically, it was just a hell of a lot of...
Hours
a lot of our time, really, wasn't it?
Time was the biggest investment on it, really. I spent night after night after night just sifting through, like I said before, trying to find the right taste.
How long has it taken?
It took me 3 years, in total. But that wasn't day in, day out.
No, obviously, but
I couldn't
you've got to live your life around
commit that time to do
it.
it.
Because also, Neil's got 2 young girls, hasn't he?
I have.
And apparently they're listening, so say hello to your children.
Hi, darling. Hi, Tia. Hi, Macy.
That's all good. The new breed are coming.
Can I say hello to my dog? She's listening.
Yes, of course, you can.
Hello, Jess.
Skylar, my dog, of course, isn't listening because she's in the home on her own. Chris, anyone here?
I'll say hello to Kate, my beautiful wife, Kate. Hello, Kate.
Katie, beautiful. That's all good. Right, listen, which she probably isn't, is she? She's turned it off in disgust. Good morning, Kate. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to try and get the point of this interview really is just to get people to have a listen.
Exactly.
To have a listen.
A pound. So I'm
yeah,
saying that every now and again.
Yeah. Just shout, Lee.
I will.
A pound.
A pound. That's all it is. A pound.
Okay, now just think how many times that you put your hand in your pocket and thought, I thought I've had a pound, and you lost
a pound.
It. See how many times you do that in a week. Now, what you could have done is bought an album. Right, kind of music is metal, rock, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, experimental. Yeah.
You've got stuff that's. Well, you've heard 2 different songs on, with Defiled and Powdered. 2 different ends of the spectrum. It's very wide and open to a lot of people. It's not crashing, screaming metal. It's not all the time. It's not middle of the road rock either. There's some new ideas in there, things that, even though it was 4 years ago made, they're fresh and it's new music.
Still groundbreaking.
Well, anyone who's into music should have a listen, shouldn't they?
Absolutely.
Primaryslave.com. Just go and have a listen. Look, and also a pound out of your life. I know that when you hear charities going on and stuff, what's just £2 a month? It's nonsense. No one's going to hassle you for this pound, but I'm asking you to, as a listener of my show and a listener of Recharge Radio, go and have a go, buy it for £1. Also, everyone who puts up as well on their pages on Facebook, everyone's got between 100 friends. I've got 700 and whatever who I never speak to. I don't know half of them, but that's fine. Put it up there because people do press on things and have a look, and that's what we're looking for as well. Also, any journalists out there that are listening, music or otherwise, there's a good story here. Okay, so let's go back over the story. Mark left a body of music. Neil has been in with his computer. Now, the computer itself is a bit of a nightmare, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
Right.
Chris has got the story on that one.
Right, go on.
Basically, like Neil says, we took the delivery of the PC when Mark died. And that's all right. Took the delivery of a PC when Mark died, and we put it down in the horrible dank basement.
The basement.
And there it stayed for... it did, actually, yeah. It stayed for a few weeks before Neil could get around to starting on the project, and by the time we'd actually booted up this PC, it had obviously got a tad damp, and things went bang.
Oh God! It got that bad. It actually went bang. I need to expand on the basement theory. Right? If you stood in the basement for longer than half an hour, right, you came out wet. And I'm not kidding.
You were mouldy, yeah.
There was mould involved in this. So if you've got a computer that sits there for 3 weeks, it's raining in there. Okay, it's right, and I'm not. That's just the way it is. Okay, so things were going bang.
It did, and one of the other things we had to get through once we'd fixed that problem and got the PC up and running again was the fact that we was wondering, has he put passwords on? We've got to get past this, which he had. We had to crack through that. We've done that.
So You had to hack into his system.
Absolutely,
into the
hack
system,
into
yeah,
the
to
You got to hack
get
into the
thing,
Pentagon
yeah.
to get through the. Oh my God!
Mark's recording PC at his studio at his home, so
Yeah,
you
so
know,
he's not going to leave that open.
exactly. And
Cool.
as Neil said before, you know, he actually spent hours upon hours of sifting through this pool of audio data. You don't know what tracks are what.
I was going to say, because basically where the computer completely crashed,
Yeah.
right? Chris used a regain my files program
Yeah,
to get the files
recovery
back because
program,
the
yeah.
computer just wasn't going to spit them out, right?
No.
So Chris eventually tried his hardest to try and use this program. And eventually the computer went, okay, and went, there you go. I've puked up all your files for you in no particular order.
Yeah.
With no particular
Completely
names.
random, yeah.
Well, completely random. So you click on one and it goes, You think,
Plays
where
it
does
to
that
you.
go?
What, is that the end? Is that the
What
beginning?
part of the song is that? Now, imagine Neil getting all of those files on your computer individually and then going, so I've got now the biggest jigsaw puzzle in the whole world
Yeah. Oh my
musically
God.
trying
That's
to
right.
remake the songs of
Musical
what goes
jigsaw
where,
puzzle.
where and when. So that was when I went, I'm going home.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to really help you now. I'm going. Yeah. So okay.
See you
So
later.
you're I absolutely lost for words. How do
That
you
was me
do?
for
How
the
do you
first
do
2
that?
years.
Yeah, you're like that.
It was, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it had a
there
bit
were
of-
audio files, though. So
Right.
you had to sort of piece them together with which track you thought they might have been from.
Oh my God!
It was-
So you actually, you've actually had to build the biggest, as you just said,
Yeah.
the biggest jigsaw puzzle in the world.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, imagine getting an album and then completely splitting it into its parts and then throwing them all around the world and then try and put them all back together again.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. You've already done it.
If you need to do that,
You've already
anytime,
done
I can
it.
help you out with
Yeah,
it.
okay, yeah, cool, yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say to any member of my band, just record something. Yeah, don't catalogue it.
Don't worry
Throw it
about
up
it,
in the
yeah.
internet and I'll find it.
Yes, yeah.
No problem.
And Neil mix that for you.
Yeah,
no
Neil, I'll
problem.
take it to Neil. He's got some time, it's fine. A couple of years. Okay. So it gets you 4 years. Okay, so this is a labour of love. So, this isn't done for profit or gain. This is done by the fact that you guys really wanted your friend's music to come out.
Absolutely right.
Okay, now, if you can't respect that, you can't respect anything. So what I want you to do, and I'm asking you, as Jim Distortion in the morning, I want you to go and listen to primaryslave.com, go and have a read, go and have a listen through. Make sure that if you like it, or even if you just respect what the Dunham brothers have done, then you put up that link and you tell your friends. It's not difficult. It'll take you seconds, right? So make sure that if you've got something to do with this in any way, so if you're a musician, think about what you would like if you'd left, your musical heritage behind you and somebody else managed to put it out. And also, believe me, I know that if it's taken 4 years and knowing the guys here, it's been taken and done lovingly. And I don't mean that, but I mean they've actually respected what they've done. And, if you've got something, how many albums can you say that exist in the world that have that much care and meaning attached to them? I think
One. It's
One.
a pound.
it's a pound. It's a pound, Lee
Pound.
says. It's a pound.
It's only a pound.
Fantastic. Okay, look, I'm going to say goodbye, guys. Thanks a lot for doing that.
worries,
coming in. What we're going to do, though, I think, is we're going to keep a little eye on what's happening, right? So if we get anywhere
please do, yeah.
and keep moving. So what we'll do is we'll do a few updates and all of that. I'm putting the 2 songs on rotation through Christmas with us
cheers,
as
mate.
well, yeah?
Thanks, Jim.
Obviously, that's my pleasure.
Christmas #1, yeah?
Well, yeah, why not? Yeah. Okay.
I'll load
Recharge
some
radio
Christmas
#1.
films over the top of it.
We're gonna have to make a soundbite where you're just going, it's a pound.
It's a pound.
It'd be better than this X Factor shit, wouldn't it?
Oh my God! Let's not get onto that. We've
Private
got-
Slave Christmas #1, please, people.
I don't know whether I can achieve that, but I think what we can achieve. I mean, having a radio show, having a listenership that we do have. I don't know how many people are listening right now, but with the podcast and everything, we can get out to more people than we would do necessarily without it. So let's try and do that. primaryslave.com. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot for coming out.
Thanks, Jim.
That's all good. Right, let's play some tunes and then we're going to do the news.
Music needs to be driven, not controlled. Recharged Radio.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the guys who did Mark's album from Primary Slave. You'll be hearing more about that. I really do want you to go out and just check it out. Doesn't matter who you
I've
are.
got to say though, because I say quite obviously in that interview, that is a great story though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That is an absolutely great story, and also just the tenacity of having to, because I work in audio for a living, right? And to put together all those little bits of audio, to go and do all of that and try and work it all out. I mean, that is a serious undertaking. I think anybody that has tried to record, just there. You're just trying to get to two takes that vaguely match together. Sometimes,
well, knowing Mark as
huge
well.
ask.
I mean, Mark and I we were in a couple of bands and we've done all that. So knowing that's the thing. Oh, I've got a CD. Put that in the.
The CD has been
CD
delivered.
thing, for the keys.
Yeah.
I know. I'll tell you what as well. This is really good. Are they all like the CDs? Can you buy these? Can you buy the CD as well?
On the internet as well, yeah, on the website.
This.
Okay.
We should describe this actually,
This is
because
like
this is a real work of art as well. The CD is. I mean, it's not just I don't want to sound disparaging. It's not just like a jewel case or anything like that, but it is a proper, proper.
It's a proper cardboard fold over, and it's got good stuff. Okay,
it's got good artwork and everything.
So
Great.
nice one, Neil. Yeah. We'll take that on. Yeah, take it easy, mate.
Thank you.
Okay, I now have a copy of it, and this is what we'll do. Hold on one second. Right, just talking to the wife. Hold on one second on the radio. Yeah, okay, so listen, do me one favour. If you do anything today and you're listening to this show, go to primaryslave.com and then put that link on your page. Just do it, just share it. It's not difficult. You can find the link on Recharge Radio page on Facebook, so facebook.com/Recharge Radio. I'm a bit blown away by that. That's a big task. 4 years of editing. Editing music.
4 years of anything, man. Just that it sort of moves off the whole musical scale and sort of goes somewhere into the realms of TV production. That doesn't it? Because when they say things on BBC, it's like, it's 10 years in the making, and that's like 4 years in the making, and most of that is, like they said, trying to just find the right bits that match up with the right songs, and then making sure that they got the right bits, then the bits that were good bits. It's
a strange thing to have to do to... Oh, microphone in the wrong place. Strange thing to have to do as well is like pick somebody else's brains.
Yeah.
Somebody who's no longer here. You can't even reach out and phone them and ask them what's going on. Anyway, look, I've said it before, primaryslave.com. Also, download it. It's only £1. But listen, do yourself a favour and buy a CD. It's fantastic. So, we've reached the end of another show. It's good to see, actually, and it's kind of heartwarming for us, that people are actually reacting to the Primary Slave thing as well. Chris Panther's gone off and bought the record. People have been looking at it. I pasted it everywhere, primaryslave.com. We'll keep you informed about what press and stuff take that on, and I'm going to try and get them a bit more coverage, and we'll find out what's happening. I bought the CD for £10, and I think everyone in the place should buy themselves a CD. It's a three-tiered monstrosity in a good way, which has a big booklet that tells you all the story and everything. Primary Slave album, and it's good. Get involved with that, primaryslave.com. Thanks for joining in. Goodbye. Have a good week.
Jim Distortion in the morning. Live from Graphic Nature Studios. Go to graphicnature.co.uk. The best new independent music.
If you remember last week, if you were there listening or you've heard the podcast, we were talking about Primary Slave, and that was Mark Giltrow, who sadly was killed in a motorcycle accident, and his music is lived on by Neil, Lee and Chris Dunham, all holding together, putting it out and making the record finished. And it's out and it's there. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to primaryslave.com while you're listening to us, while you're listening to their song Defiled, and go and buy their album, because it's only £1. It's all about getting the music out there, so let's support that. Go and click on the Buy Me Now button. It's a £1 download, or you can get the CD, and I think the CD's either a £10 or £11. Ian Foxon did the artwork on that CD for Primary Slave, and it's fantastic. It's a big cardboard foldy outy thing with a book and a sleeve and a CD and all that kind of stuff. It's great, and I really, really, really urge you to go and have a look at that. I know certain friends of mine have done that. Darren, who is Kaz Moomin's other half, he bought the CD and loves it. Chris Panther UK, who works with us at Madhouse Tattoo, but apparently isn't very well. So get well soon. They bought it too, and loads of people, or some people, did the download. So listen, do me a favour, get involved with that.